It's Thanksgiving in the US, which means tomorrow is the biggest shopping day of the year. And instead of a normal Black Friday video where I go through and try to find whatever is on sale and talk about it, I decided that this year what I wanted to do was a best of 2024 video where I go back through everything that I reviewed this last year and I highlight some of my favorite cameras, some lenses, and some other accessories and products of 2024. And by doing that, hopefully that helps you if you are thinking about what to buy next, because more times than not, the best thing to buy, quote unquote, is not necessarily on sale. I'll make sure to link everything down in the description that I discuss in this video, so check those out if you are shopping, and let's begin. I'm going to start with my top 3 favorite APS-C lenses released this past year. Number 1, hopefully is no surprise. It is the Viltrox 27mm f1.2. Now this might be a little bit of a surprise because the 27mm focal length has never been my favorite. I would often refer to it as boring, but this lens is anything but boring. Its construction is all metal, it's heavy with excellent finishes and switches. Optically, I'm going to say it's more perfect than any other lens around this focal length. It's fast at f1.2, which on an APS-C camera means you can gather light as effectively, if not more so, than your full frame competitors. And the images out of this lens have a special pop to them. It's a great walk around street lens. Really, the only negatives are the weight and the price, which usually is just under $600 US. Fortunately, Viltrox does put their lenses on sale, and so right now the sale price of this lens is $491. It might be less as of tomorrow, I don't know. I cannot recommend this lens more highly. It's a modern classic that I think will only gain popularity into the future. Number 2, this is a surprise and likely not a lens that anyone is going to go out and buy, but I think it is an important release. And that is the Sony 16-50mm PZ-OSS Mark II, which I didn't review in a dedicated video, but I mentioned in a video about the new ZV-E10 Mark II. Now this compact lens is just like the original kit lens, but with improved autofocus that can keep up with the newest fast algorithms, and more importantly, better OSS or optical steady shot performance. Now, is anyone going to go out there and spend $300 on this lens? Probably not, especially when you can go out and get the Sigma 18-50, where it is right here, f2.8 zoom for about $500 US. However, this lens shows that Sony still somewhat marginally cares about APS-C, as it is the only APS-C lens that Sony has ever updated in the history of APS-C. And that means something, maybe not much, but it does mean something. Now, maybe they can update some of the rest of their lens lineup. Comment down below which Sony lens you guys want them to update, because I am curious. Number 3 on the list of APS-C lenses is an extremely affordable portrait lens, a 56mm f1.7 lens made by, you guessed it, Viltrox. Again, this lens is around $150 US on sale, and in my review I compared it to the Sigma 56mm f1.4 to find that while the Sigma was still sharper and technically better, the Viltrox was just barely behind. And in terms of price to performance, there's really no argument against picking up one of these lenses if you are looking for a budget-friendly autofocusing portrait lens. It's compact, it's lightweight, and it works way better than the $150 price tag suggests that it should. Next on my discussion list is the best Sony camera release of 2024. There are 2 contenders: the recent A1 Mark II at a price of $6,500 US, or the ZV-E10 Mark II at a price of around $1,000, a little bit under. I'm going to go with the ZV-E10 Mark II. For most people out there, this is the better camera, and also you guys know that I just like APS-C cameras. This new one has now become an FX30 Lite with the same sensor and video specs minus 4K 120, but it can do 4K 60, and with the new color science, the new menu system, the larger Z-type battery, there's a lot of things to like about this camera. This is a vlogging camera that can do so much more than just vlogging, and essentially offers the performance of the FX30 and the A6700 for less money. Now, before I get into full frame lenses, and let me just say that this year was the year of full frame lens releases, I want to talk about the sponsor of this video, my favorite projector TV release of 2024, the JMGO N1S Pro 4K. Now, there are 4 key things that you need to know about it. First, the N1S Pro 4K uses their own proprietary MALC 2.0 triple laser technology to reach 2,400 ANSI lumens, which means the image is super bright, vivid, with an exceptional 1600:1 contrast ratio and 10-bit color depth. This projector is bright enough to use in the day, but at night it's hard to describe how how good it is. Its punchy and rich colors are something you have to see for yourself. Second, it features a slim 2-axis gimbal system, which means you can put your TV wherever you want it. You can project it on a wall or on a ceiling just by rotating the projector. And what happens here is genius. The N1S Pro 4K uses 6-axis tech and proprietary algorithms to automatically adjust and correctly place and focus an image on a projected surface within seconds. Not only does it correct for distortion, it has smart object avoidance, and it focuses the image each and every time. This is so easy that your average grandmother could set it up in about 30 seconds. Third, this projector has built-in dual 20-watt master sound speakers that support Dolby audio and fill your room with rich, full sound. For most rooms in your house, you won't even think about needing to connect this TV to a set of speakers because the ones that are built in are that good. And the projector itself emits less than 26 decibels of noise, which means it's not fighting against itself in the sound department. Last, the JMGO N1S Pro 4K has Google TV built in, which means over 10,000 apps, Netflix, Prime, Hulu, YouTube, everything is there, and you can use Google Assistant via the remote to access all of your content. Now, the regular price on this TV is $2,000, but because it's Black Friday, JMGO is offering this N1S Pro 4K for a whopping $700 off, so for $1,299 US, it can be yours. That's $300 less than the lowest price that I've ever seen it, so if you are interested in checking it out, I'll link it down below. Now let's talk about full frame lenses. I had to pick 3 of my favorite lenses for 2024, and let me just say that this was really tough to narrow down. The first is a telephoto, the Sigma 70-200 f2.8 DG-DNOS. This is a big lens. It's a bit heavy, but optically, what an absolute treasure. It does everything well, distortion is well controlled, colors are excellent, bokeh is smooth. The price is roughly $1,000 less than the Sony version, and it features an excellent optical stabilization system built in. A lot of people ask about telephoto lenses on this channel, and right now I think this is the one that is the best performing lens for the money. My only wish is that there was an APS-C equivalent of it, so something like a 50-150 f2.8 in a more compact body for the smaller sensor. That would be amazing. I'll keep waiting for that lens, but if you shoot full frame, you don't have to wait. Number 2 on the full frame list is the Laowa 10mm f2.8 0DFF. This was a shocking lens to me because when it came out this year, I didn't think it was possible to get 10mm on a full frame sensor and still make it rectilinear. I thought it had to be a fisheye, but this lens creates some of the most dramatic images you can imagine. Far too wide for even most real estate photography, perhaps too wide for even vlogging, but the construction is solid, all metal, autofocus is fast and accurate and silent. Optically, it's very sharp across most of the frame, I'd say 95% of it, with slight softness appearing at the very corners. It's a lens that has pushed the boundaries of what is possible on full frame, and it comes from a very innovative company that has made a reputation for itself for zero distortion ultra-wide lenses. If you're looking for something crazy, definitely check it out. Number 3 is, you guessed it, the very, very small, so small that it's hiding back here, Viltrox 28mm f4.5. I recently got back from New York for the launch of the A1 Mark II, and what's interesting is that I talked to a lot of people. A friend of mine who is an absolute pro portrait educator had this little lens on his A9 Mark III. And I joked with him saying only you would put a $100 lens on your $5,000 camera, but it shows that this lens really has surpassed the novelty cheap lens title. It's something that is simply fun. For a super compact walk-around lens, there is nothing better for your full-frame camera. It's currently a mind-blowing $84 on Amazon. There is nothing camera-related for $84 that will bring the fun factor back into your shooting like this lens will. It turns any full-frame camera into a pocket-friendly street photo tool, and it's sharp too, with interesting flaring, great colors, and quick enough autofocus. Even if you shoot APS-C, I would take this lens over any of the other pancake lenses available at the moment, even over the Sony 20mm, which I have here. This is exceptional. Okay, 2 last items on my list. My favorite gimbal release of this year is the very budget-friendly Cinepeer Weebill 3E. For around $200, there is no better gimbal out there. It's compact, has plenty of payload capacity for about 95% of shooters, even if you shoot full frame. It's smooth, easy to operate, great battery life, and I think that it looks good as well. I don't know how Gwin did it, but this Cinepeer line is very popular. Looking at Amazon, this thing has sold over 100 times in the last month, so I think it's doing quite well. And the last item is perhaps the most innovative light of the year. This is the Cinepeer C100. It's a super bright compact RGB tube light with a built-in battery, 9 fans to keep it cool, and it comes in a package that is sleek, minimalist, and different. This one isn't cheap, but it is on a Black Friday deal, so if you are in the market for a cool looking RGB light, you can save about $50 if you pick it up during the sale. So those are my favorite products of the last year, but I skipped over a lot of brilliant releases just to compile this list. So let me know down in the comments what your favorite products of the year are. If you are shopping during Black Friday or anytime after, I'll link everything that I talked about in this video down below, so definitely check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.